We have really begun to understand how important it is to protect ourselves against the COVID virus. With the different variations that have come out, you got to really start thinking about how to maximize what you're doing and boost your immunity system just as much as you can. Now, the vaccine is one way to do it, but I also prescribe that we should get into looking at our nutritional. The things that are important from a nutritional standpoint are going to be the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, and the probiotics. So we're going to kind of separate those into two separate categories, probiotics and then the vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Now, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes we typically get from our vegetables. That's where the highest concentration of those are going to come from. Now, it's important to understand how to preserve that when we process our vegetables. So one way is to eat them raw. When you eat them raw, they're not doing anything to disrupt the vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, and so you're going to get the full benefit of that. Most people, though, don't want to eat them raw entirely, so we look at different ways to cook them. There are variations you can do with this. Now, the first thing that I would say would be to lightly steam your vegetables, just to the point that they've just started to warm up, they're still crunchy, they still have that good crisp texture to them and that good solid taste. You can also juice vegetables. Now, this is a process of extracting the juices from them and drinking the juice. This is a little rough for a lot of people, so you may want to take that in steps. Start with just a few ingredients at first. Make sure that you have plenty of lemon and fruit juice along with it, and then it'll offset the flavor or the bitterness of the vegetables. If you're going to cook with your vegetables, the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is this, is that when you're cooking the meal, make sure you put the vegetables in at the very end so they're only in for a short period of time. That way they don't get so hot that they're going to disrupt or harm the benefits of the vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. So it's very, very important, again, we understand these things, we practice these things. Now, the probiotics are another thing. I've talked about these before. These help promote your gut health, help promote your digestive process, help promote your inflammatory issues. They're going to help with the immunity issues, all of these types of things. So it's very, very important that we think about those. Now, you can get them naturally through different foods, yogurt, buttermilk, things like that. I do a lot of fermenting. I ferment a lot of vegetables. So this actually takes now those vegetables with the vitamins, minerals, and enzymes and adds that probiotic to it because it allows them to ferment, allows them to create that good bacteria. Fermentation is actually fairly easy. The basic process for fermentation is you take your vegetables, put them in a jar. You want to make sure that they're below the surface of the water that you're going to add. Now, the water you add, it's real easy. Remember this formula. 1 quart of water, 4 teaspoons of a good quality salt. So a salt with a lot of minerals, sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, Celtic sea salt. These types of things can be very, very good for you. Don't use an iodized salt when you do your fermentation of the vegetables. So when you do this, you mix that together, put your vegetables in another jar, fill it in so that you cover the top of the vegetables. Now, there are a couple things you can do with this. Probably the easiest thing would be you can get fermentation tops from Ball. They have a spring that will push down the vegetables and hold them below the level of the water. There are also what are called fermenting weights. You can find these online, glass weights. They'll also hold them underwater as well. Now, the fermented vegetables by themselves create kind of a funky taste. You can get used to it. They're a little on the salty side. They do taste good, but they're really good to add to other dishes, especially to salads. I ferment green beans, tomatoes, and I put them in my salad. Phenomenal. Really, really gives a nice, good taste to it. When you're looking at fermenting other things, I just got done today with doing some buttermilk and some sauerkraut. So as you can see, buttermilk. Now the buttermilk took me all of about a minute and a half to actually set it up and let it get going. Then it takes a few more hours for the cultures to act upon it and transform it into that buttermilk. Now, buttermilk is really good to be used for cooking. If you like the taste of it, you can drink it. I use it also to make blue cheese dressing with, so now my blue cheese dressing has probiotics in it. It's really, really a good all-around type milk that you should be using, but make sure that you make your own. It's so simple, so easy, and you're getting those good probiotics. Now, the other thing I made was some sauerkraut. So the sauerkraut, again, is very easy. You can find recipes for this online. You mix it all together, put it in the jar, pour your salt water mixture over the top of it, cap it, and then you're good to go. You got to make sure you have a little bit of room at the top to allow for that air to escape. Again, those fermentation lids are really good to use in this situation. I'm also in the process of having some sour cream. Now you think about this, sour cream typically isn't thought of as something that has probiotics, but when you make that sour cream with the buttermilk that I made and yogurt that you can also make, now you have a probiotic sour cream, and this is something we all enjoy. So let's start branching out a little bit and looking at these types of things. The amount of time that you spend going to the store and the money involved and all of that, you take this time at home and make your own. It tastes so much better and is so much better for you. So do a little research, get online, look up some of these cultured recipes and some of these fermented type recipes, and let's start going that way and really, really boost our immunity system so that COVID thing can just go away.